What's up, guys? Welcome back to Crypto Charts Daily. If you're new to the channel, my name is Tanner. I'm a crypto trader, made multiple six figures trading crypto, and I like to make videos on technical analysis to help you guys further understand market structure. I know I haven't made a video in a while. I apologize for the long absence. I wanted to come back in January, but ended up losing interest in making videos, and I've been procrastinating. But it's time we hop back on the charts here because I did recently get some good buys on crypto, and I'm getting back into the market here, so figured it's a good time to update you guys on what I've been doing and update you guys on the market. I know a lot of you guys lose interest in crypto during the bear market. You know, it's not as exciting in these times of consolidation, or your coin collapsed 80% or 60%. And there's no hype with crypto right now. So a lot of you guys just either lose interest or don't feel like paying attention to the charts anymore. In my opinion, it's a great time to start looking for entries. Obviously not financial advice, and we could still collapse further, but that's what we're going to go over here today. What are the possible outcomes of Bitcoin and the altcoins? So if that's interesting to you, let's get right into it. As you guys can see here on the total crypto market cap, we did have a break of structure to the upside, breaking that $3.5 trillion market cap. And over the past few months here, we have broken below it. We broke below and retested, and then headed back down to that $2.5 trillion support. And now we have broken below, or a few months ago, we've broken below that $2.5 trillion support, tapping into this higher time frame structure, this higher time frame order block or consolidation, whatever you want to call it, off this break of structure. So we are retesting this structure, but let's get down into this consolidation here. I do think the market will probably head lower at some point, but as of right now, we did break below that $2.5 trillion market cap. We retested it and then broke structure above it. And then we broke this relative high here, and we are trading above that $2.5 trillion market cap. And obviously market cap is not a coin, but these levels, as you could see, they trade pretty consistently here, and you could treat them, at least in the analysis, just like anything else. So over the next few months, I would like to see, obviously here, we talked previously a lot about liquidations and wicks. This high here of 2.59 trillion we can't get a daily close above that. So over the next few days or months, I would like to see a candle close, daily close above this 2.6, let's just call it $2.6 trillion high. And if we continue to get wicked and rejected here, we'll look for that retest of the $2.45 trillion market cap support, let's call it. We'll look for the test of that. If we see strength off that, might be some good buying opportunities. But if we do end up breaking below that, we'll look for the retest to the downside to just give us an overall feel on the strength of the market here. All right, guys, looking at Bitcoin here, we're floating around 77,000. We do and probably should add a few more support and resistance levels, but for right now, we'll play off the previous support and resistance levels. Much like the market cap here, we did have kind of a break of structure to the upside, and then we went and liquidated that low, testing this previous structure and bouncing perfectly that $63,000 support. Excuse me, my middle mouse scroll wheel button is broken, so I can't just go and delete stuff. We'll have to backspace for now. Zooming in here on this daily time frame, we can see the $63,000 support level, see a little strength off of it, but we do have this big break of structure to the downside. and some consolidation here that we could play into. At the moment, it does look like we're playing this in balance with this order block here. And we would like to see, well, we did get the close above, but we'd like to see it close above this high here of 81,000. That'd be a good sign of strength. If we continue to get rejected out of this order block, I'd expect price to come down and test the $63,000 level again. And I usually, just for this channel, like to focus on, or at least Crypto Chart's daily report. We can make a specific video on my thoughts about Bitcoin. I usually just like to stick with the technical analysis that we're looking at the moment. But if we do end up getting rejected off of this support and resistance flip here, I do think it's possible that we see Bitcoin at lower prices. But again, for now, I'd like to see some strength here. Doesn't look like we actually ever closed above this high here. So, you know, we'd definitely like to see a close above this high. And like I said, that $81,000 level would be a nice sign of strength. If we end up closing below these lows here of 73, I'm sure we'll go down and test that $63,000 support again. Also, the state of the world, obviously, all the news that's coming out daily has not been the best for the markets. Anything could happen at any point, so just keep that in mind. I don't know when exactly on the charts I made my last video, probably somewhere around here, but as you could see, Ethereum tested that $2,700 support, ran up to resistance, got rejected off of this order block here, filled the imbalance, got rejected off of the order block, and then pushed down to break this support and this structure here. So now we would just like to see it come up and test this resistance, and we'll see if we could break above it. If we don't break above it, which in my opinion we probably won't, because again, I am expecting further downside in the crypto market, I'd say, but who knows, with the news, how the news has been lately, anything could happen. We have seen a bit of strength, not really in Ethereum it seems, but some of the altcoins have seen some pretty good bounces in some of the altcoins. Anyway, excuse me, I haven't made a video in a while, so I think by the way I'm talking, you guys could tell I need to get back in the swing of it here. Looking at more relative time frame, the past few weeks here, we definitely want to see this low hold of 2250 and a break of this high of 2500 to just again go see that resistance test and see what happens. If we do end up closing below this relative low here, and especially this one, we'll probably go down, take this liquidity, and we'll look for a test of this higher time frame support. XRP has been trading beautifully in between these support and resistance levels here. As you can see, we came down and we have tested many times, and for many weeks and months here we've tested this $1.32 support, and now on these daily candles we would like to see this high of $1.50 get broken to then go test this resistance at $1.62. If we end up breaking these daily lows here, we'll probably go test this support again, and if the support breaks and we end up closing below, it will flip resistance and we could possibly head down to that $1.94 support. Looking at the altcoin market cap, we did get a wick with a huge rejection back to the upside. Maybe rejection is not the right word to use for that, but we did test, liquidate, and instead of closing below, we instantly came back up. Strength off that 0.27 support level here. And again, we'll just look for the continued test of this 2.7 support to then go push back up, take some of this trend line out, and break relative highs. On the short term though, treating it like a coin, we see a break of structure here and a strong order block, so I'd expect 0.29 to be a pretty solid resistance. It would be great to break this high of 0.30. Finance coin, higher time frame, we have a break of structure, ton of consolidation, but right here what we want to focus on is this 667 support. We closed below it, retested it several times, and now we are holding this relative low here. But again, we'll just look for the retest of this 667 resistance now. And again, if we close above it, it might flip support. But for right now, this 667 level is resistance. And we'll look for the tap in and then the push down to 520 to take some of this liquidity and test this 520 support. Solana testing this 80.88 cent support here. And if we end up closing below these now relative lows of 77 cents, we'll look for the retest and for that support to then flip resistance. If we could break these relative daily highs here, you could see this order block here with some imbalance acting as resistance here. If we could break, and actually I would say it's right here because we could see the test, this order block right here, break these highs of 97 cents, that would be a good indication of strength to then go test this higher time frame resistance and this break of structure, creating this resistance here as well. I just like to point out, guys, you could check the old videos if you don't believe me, or if you just think I put these lines here because they look nice. These are the same price levels that we've had for, well, I've had for years now, but it's the same price levels you could see on the other videos. We do not change them. They just work. It is what it is. I did want to come back to YouTube with some coursework, not a paid course or anything, but a lot of you guys, especially some people that follow me, that know me in real life and aren't traders, don't understand technical analysis terms. I did want to come back with some coursework on just basic technical terms and just a basic course on market structure. But again, I've been procrastinating. It's amazing I'm even making this video right now, but it feels good to be doing this, and it feels nice to be getting back in the swing of it. So once I get back in the swing of this, I definitely want to be doing some coursework, so it'll be easier to follow along with what I'm saying. Obviously, the seasoned incels on YouTube will know exactly what I'm talking about when I mention order blocks and imbalances, blah, blah. But for right now, this is what it is. So again, on Cardano here, we have a close below the support, makes a resistance. We did test it quite a bit, just consolidating here on this support. But I would say at this point, it's definitely flipped resistance. As you can see here, we have a break of structure to the downside, and we have imbalance with a beautiful order block aligning perfectly with that now resistance. So we are just getting rejected here. We would definitely need to see a close above this resistance, but this relative high right here of 26 cents, we definitely want to see a close above that. If we get closes below this 24 cent low, we'll definitely break down further to possible higher time frame. Well, there is none. This is a great buy. The great buying opportunity, not financial advice, but this is pretty much the bottom for Cardano here. So great opportunity to perhaps be looking for a buy. Obviously, guys, just look for the continued test of this resistance, and when we finally break above, I'll keep you updated, and we'll look for the flip to support. Chainlink, guys, obviously we do have this break of structure to the downside, order block sitting here, consolidation creates resistance, but we did break down, and we have held this support of $8.28. So that's a great sign. We could look for continued tests of this support, or we'll look for the break of this high at 990 for strength to then go test this higher time frame resistance here. Stellar lumens breaking down off supports, flipping them resistance and getting rejected. Again, testing support at 20 cents, breaking down, creating breaks of structure and resistance here. And now for the past few months, we've had some consolidation. Over the past few weeks, we have been testing those highs. No close above those highs though. So again, look for the test of this resistance here at 20 cents. If we close above, it could flip support again, but for right now, we are trading well below that resistance. We'll look for the retest though, let's say of this imbalance here. But if we close below these lows of 16 cents, we'll probably go down and liquidate this consolidation. And I hope you guys are paying attention to how beautiful these support and resistance levels play. Again, we haven't changed them. If you've made it this far in the video, I appreciate it, and hit the like and possibly subscribe button if you're not subscribed, and perhaps drop a comment with what you think the crypto market will do in the future. Anyway, guys, Avalanche here, 11-cent support. Like many of the other coins, flipped resistance, and now for the past few months we've been consolidating, so let's just look for the test of that resistance there. Hedra, as you guys could see, we had support, test, react nicely, but then finally came down and broke below the support of 13 cents, flipped resistance, retested that resistance, and then continued to break structure. And then obviously we tested that support at 7 cents, and now we're just looking for possibly another test of that 7-cent support, or we'll look for strength to then go test that resistance again. Litecoin, honestly, not much to say about Litecoin. It's been months of consolidation here. No movement on Litecoin whatsoever. So we'll look for the test of that resistance or the test of that support. Uniswap, it's interesting. I don't have any price levels marked out here. Let's just go ahead and, much like Bitcoin, we'll put one. I usually like to get the most amount of tap-ins or where price has flipped, and I think I'm going to put it right there. Oh, that's interesting. It's interesting that that line is not colored right. But anyway, guys, yeah. $4.60. Yeah, that's nice. I like that. I do like that because as you can see here, this would be the perfect breakout. So this is definitely the support and resistance line we wanted here. As you guys can see, Uniswap getting rejected, and we'll look for either the break of these lows of $3 or the test of this resistance here now at $4.60. $4.16, excuse me. ONDO Finance testing and closing below support, so flipping at resistance, and you guys could see how perfectly that support and resistance line plays. 28 cents is a major resistance now, and we'd like to see obviously a close above and a retest, but if we continue to just get rejected here, I'd look for the sweep of this consolidation. Polygon, as you can see, support, broke below, tested, created resistance. Now we've just been consolidating for the past few months. Zooming in here, we definitely want to see a close above that 10 cents price level. And if we continue to get wicked here off of this order block, as you can see, perfect order block there. We'll just look for the push lower. If we close above this order block though, it'd be good to see some strength and test this 16-cent resistance again. Algorand, didn't know it'd show up on this chart, but do have a notification there. I did get buys at 8 cents 50, so pretty much the low. Yeah, pretty much the low here. I'll make a separate video on it. But as you can see, support broke below, tested, created resistance. And then I'm not going to get down onto the lower time frames or why I bought there in this video. That'll be a separate video. Drop a comment for that too, maybe show some support. But I'll definitely be making a video on why exactly I bought a little under 8 cents 50, and in some good profit at the moment, about 50%, well, a little less, but wasn't about 50% profit. And it would be nice to see 100% 100% profit on that position. But yeah, we did obviously test here in this daily candle. You could see the wick and the rejection, test that resistance, and we close above. And now we are just testing this support now. It did look like over the past few days, though, it was going to flip resistance and come back down to my entry, or come back down and test this order block here that broke structure. But we did yesterday get the close. Oh no, today actually, excuse me, it is past 8 now. We did today get the close back above that support or that resistance, so we'll look for it to test one more time and break these highs of 11 cents and continue on to higher time frame resistance. Flare, not much to say. We did get rejected here off of that support, creating resistance. And now we'll like to see the break of this high here to then continue back up to that resistance. Quant trading beautifully in between these support and resistance levels. As you can see, we were getting rejected off this resistance, closed above, and it immediately shot up to then go test higher time frame resistance at $79. And then I went back down to retest this order block here. Perfect order block off this break of structure. And now we'll just look for either the test of this support again or the test of this resistance. But on the higher time frames, obviously we'd like to break out of this consolidation. It would be a good sign of strength. IOTA, honestly, I don't know much about IOTA. It was popular at this point like 6 years ago, but we are at pretty much all-time lows here. So could possibly, not financial advice, be a decent buying opportunity. But in the meantime, we'd like to see it close above these relative highs here. And for it to continue bouncing this floor to then go test that higher time frame. Holy moly. Higher. You know what, maybe we should update it with some support and resistance. Some more support and resistance lines in the future, or maybe in next video. XDC, as we could see here, that would have been phenomenal. Bitfinex. I guess I chose Bitfinex to do that. I don't know if that shows up on everybody else's chart, but there is clearly support here. We're testing support, and as of the past few days, it does look like it's resistance. So let's just wait for the close above. And some good tests with some good breaks of relative highs would show some strength for XDC to then continue up to test, I guess, this order block here that broke structure to the downside. All right, guys, we usually would only review the meme coins on Monday, but since it's the first video back and people like to see it, we'll look at Doge here. As you can see, we are just testing this higher time frame support here. We can see that the support was acting as resistance. We even had a minor order block here. We closed above the order block, testing this resistance flip support. Now we are trading and closing above support, so we'll look for the continued test or the break of these relative highs here for some strength on Dogecoin. Shiba Inu, as you can see, we broke structure to the downside, closed well below that support, creating resistance, testing that resistance and getting rejected further. So now we just like to see a close above these relative highs, or if we get a close below these lows, to then go test these lows again. If we get a close above these highs, obviously just look for the test of this resistance here. Pepe, we could probably add another support and resistance line somewhere around here. But for now, we are just consolidating, and we'll look for the test back up to that resistance. How much is that actually? Well, honestly, that would we got to look lower time frame than that because that is a huge move that could be taken advantage of. Me personally, I don't buy meme coins, but that is 100% to the last resistance. So let's go lower time frame here. We are getting rigid. We'll call it here because as you can see, we wicked this high here. So we do have some resistance there. It looks like this order block, I guess. We do have some resistance there. So we definitely want to see it close above this high here and this high here for some strength to then go possibly test that higher time frame resistance. All right, guys, that wraps up the video. It was fun doing this again. Like I said, I've been procrastinating a lot of things. I'm not going to talk about this episode, but a lot of things been dealing with. So it's nice to break the procrastination spell and get into it. Hopefully I get back in the swing of this and we'll have some more daily uploads. If you guys appreciated this video, like, comment, subscribe. Goes a long way. Hearing you guys' feedback, support. What do you guys think about the crypto market? Have you lost interest completely? I guess if you made it this far in the video, you probably are a diehard crypto fan, listening to me blabble about technical analysis. Again, I apologize for my long absence, but again, hopefully we get the ball rolling here again. It was good talking to you guys again, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.